Rebecca here with a little update from Fortune Valley Farm. It's been drought-like conditions for several weeks ever since we had the heat dome go through in a good portion of British Columbia, including our area in the Okanagan, where we were in the mid-40s in our area, and it took such a toll on many of our animals, people, plants, and I want to give you a little indicator of how this affected my plants. So this is a prune tree. As you can see, there's some purple fruit there, but that fruit, is by and large shriveled up right on the vine. So it's turned color, but it's all sunken in. There's really nothing to it. It also turned in a lot of the leaves, so they've become like super almost crispy, and so it's had quite an effect. Here's some more here that you can see, but some of the younger fruit is still looking a bit more plump. I don't know if those are going to make it at all, but I had thought at first that none of the fruit was going to survive, but now I think maybe we might get a little bit of bounty out of what was heavy laden fruit and berries. But at least there's maybe going to be something. My biggest fear was just keeping things alive, really. This is our dog Lacey. She's a blue tick coonhound. And she's almost at her 1-year anniversary being on our farm. We adopted her last year. So here's a glimpse of our pasture. As you can see, there's really nothing. We have done sprinkling, but again, with the sprinkling, the ground has been through so much that even with the sprinkling, it really has not had a chance to come back. You can tell the areas that have had more sprinkler action than others. There's a bit of color underneath the tree, the apple tree. This week, a lot of the fruit has fallen off. It's not ripe. It's just the tree cannot cope, and so it's dropping the apples where they are. It's been this heat and the dry air with all the smoke has been hard on the animals too, and some of them have struggled through all of this. This is our cherry tree. The cherries, basically, they mostly all dried and fell off the tree. There's quite a bit of cherries that just, literally, that's what they looked like on the tree. Just these dark, dried pits with a bit of flesh on them that was all dry. The tree before that, before the heat dome came, we did have a loaded tree. But because of the dryness in June, it also produced small cherries. So between the heat and the drought, it pretty well wiped out all the cherry crop. Here's the black currant plant. It is barely hanging in there just for the plant itself. Looks like some sections are dead, but I'm hopeful that maybe in the spring some of this will come back. I don't know. The fruit, as you can see, dried right on the plant. It just, I've never seen heat like this for so long that it would wipe out a plant like that. Interesting though, the lilac tree didn't seem bothered at all by this intense heat. It must have a deep root system or something, because it literally was not overly bothered. And again, taking a look at this mint, I'm sorry, there's a lot of weeds, and we have what seems like millions of grasshoppers. They're all over the place, and they are attacking the plants. Just open the gate here, and we'll have a look in the garden. Here's some of our back farmyard pasture, and as you can see, with the exception of the thistles over there, there's virtually no grass here anymore. No, you don't come in here. Sorry, Lacey just wanted to come in the garden. So the blackberry bushes, I still have 3 that seem to be alive. The others did not make it through this heat wave. So I have one here, one here that I actually thought was dead, but it's starting from the bottom down here now. And I have one more here that is hanging on. The others, I think have all died. I was going to show you the other plants in here. Sorry, I know it's bumpy. Okay, so that was a huge, ginormous rhubarb plant. It's just been eaten alive by grasshoppers, but I guess that's nature. Yeah, I had a blueberry bush in here, but I think it's, oh, there, I guess it's still there. It didn't produce any fruit this year. Not a big surprise given the conditions. Here's a raspberry bush that's toast. These are the red currants. Honestly, I don't know if any of those are going to come back. They look pretty toasted. Yeah, raspberry bushes, same deal. I was able to get I don't know, a couple of handfuls of raspberries off these bushes, but they literally just cooked right on the plant. Here's another glimpse here of the red currant plants. And as I was saying, these did not fare well at all. And I don't know if any of these are going to survive. If they do, they'll be in a much smaller portions, I think, because they can't, I'll have to prune them way back. I think they're all crispy. So these are normally overrun with fruit and berries, and there's nothing on any of these. I don't see any gooseberries or any Jostens. I don't think they even developed, or if they did, they fell off right away. I don't know. Yeah, this was going to be such a bumper crop, so it's really disappointing with what happened. It looks like the, I want to say sour apples, but it's crab apples. They seem to be forming just fine, and they haven't fallen off or anything. I don't know what the difference is, why that particular old tree has seemed to withstand this. Maybe it is its age, I don't know. Maybe it's been through a lot in its years. It's probably the oldest plant on the property. Ooh, it's hot still. Not as hot as it has been, though, thankfully. But we're blanketed with, I don't know if you can see this or not. Really thick. Oh, yeah, okay. Because the smoke is thick, I couldn't tell that the sun was clearly in the frame. So, it is. Sorry about the movement on the camera. So the tomatoes. Well, I do need to get the tomatoes caged up quickly here before they completely can't be put up anymore, before they get too heavy. I have a few tomatoes forming on this little tomato plant. I think it's FG, so I can't remember what that stands for. But in any case, my little transplants of the chives, they seem to be doing okay. They actually took really well, which surprised me. And this is my only, I can't remember names today. Anyways, you people will know what it is, and I'll remember it in a minute, I'm sure. Anyways, that's one of the many transplants, and that one seems to be doing fine. I used root pieces to start them here. And then the asparagus that I planted little crowns last year, they seem to be holding on. There's actually, I don't know if you can see, but under this poppy here that's finished is one of these as well. Just got buried by the poppy. And they are seeming to do better than what I expected in the spring. It didn't look like they were going to do well at all. And then this is oregano that's been blossoming here. It is hanging on, but it's had its share of struggles. It was planted before the heat wave, and so it's had its own struggles. yeah, I've got a couple of kale here, and they seem to be, holding their own. This one here was nipped off really well when it was smaller. I didn't even think it was going to recover. But for whatever reason, the grasshoppers don't seem to be bothering it that much. But you never know. I had transplanted 2 tobacco plants in here, and within 2 days they were gone, like they were never existed. So much for that. Over here in this pool, this has been, for whatever reason, the comfrey, that's what it's called, comfrey, did not take as well here. I don't know if it just dried out too much, but I'll continue working with those and hopefully something will develop out of that. Then over here, yeah, the heat completely cooked my evening primrose flowers, so they didn't have much of a chance. And this is the tomatillo, I think it's called, and it has produced some small little tomato things. I think it might be finished now. And then this is the Hungarian peppers, and it's one plant. It's really tried over time to make it, so I'm hoping that eventually I'll get a pepper or something out of it. And then these were the strawberries that I transplanted last year. They, they're still here. But they just got too hot, and I never did get any berries in the end. They were trying to have berries, and then the heat just finished that from happening. I also have some bergamot plants here, but as you can see, they are so dry, and no matter how much I'm watering here, it makes no difference. They just cannot recover. The heat just completely finished them. This is my feverfew plant. I've had a lot of flowers off of this, I will say. In the beginning of earlier in the season, there was a lot. I've taken quite a few already, so some of these are new, these are definitely spent. And then this is an echinacea plant that I got last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. And it was just a small plant like this one here. And then it completely overwintered and then has turned into an actual plant, and it's flowering. So I'm hoping to see what comes of that. Maybe we'll have some echinacea plants and some roots. I don't know. I'll see what happens this fall. This little plant here just never turned into anything. Oh, this was another feverfew plant. It just finally died, I guess, because it was trying. And that's another one of those other plants again. Yeah, I have some more comfrey over here that are just not making it either. And the 3 borage plants, they have really struggled also just with trying to get water. And then these are my, these are some more of those Jerusalem artichokes. One of the things that we've also had a lot of problems with is ash coming from all the fires around us. So that has been an issue also. So between the heat, the drought, the fires and pollution in the air. It's been a tough year for us here in the Okanagan. I know it's been harder for people in other areas, but I can only speak about my own. So this is the mint plant that has grown in leaps and bounds. It's not looking very good right now. It's had a lot of, there's a lot of blossoms happening. I've already picked some blossoms and had some tea this afternoon. I understand that these can become the seed or something. Honestly, I'm not sure because I never took it that far last year and just simply grew the plants and harvested the leaves. This is some more of the artichoke, the Jerusalem artichoke, sorry. Sorry, the smoke is starting to get to me. Okay, so this is how this garden looks like. Just a mess. It was so hot that I didn't feel able to do any weeding, and that's definitely reflected. And then anything that did grow either died or just barely hung on. I have a couple of planters of these canna lilies. They're like 4 feet tall and look good and healthy. These ones not so much. This is supposed to be a red. Oh, I guess this is a red. These must be the variegated ones. And then there should be green. So I'm not sure what color the flowers will be. That'll be, I guess, a mystery that'll be solved when they actually arrive. So this isn't really the garden anymore. This is just walking towards the barnyard. This is the courtyard area of the barnyard where we bring everybody, or a lot of animals at night, in to have them safe from predators. We've had a lot of coyote issues this year, and I think bird issues, so eagles and what have you that have come in and attacked our birds, and also more recently our sheep. And we lost 2 sheep recently. 2 bottle babies that were pets. So that has been a hard break for us again. We've had coyote issues in the past, but it has been in the past. Since we've had alpacas, we hadn't had any losses due to problems with coyotes. So this has been a reminder again about not only good fencing, but also just about remembering that anytime, anywhere, coyotes are looking for food, and all the wildlife is hungry. So this is one of our rams here. He is by himself at the moment because it's not breeding season. As you can tell, this is what happens to fencing when you have rams. Sorry, maybe not everyone's fence, maybe just ours. But this is the kind of damage that rams can do, unfortunately. And we have older fencing, and so it all looks like that. And at the moment, we're feeding everyone full feed because, of course, there's no grass whatsoever. Oops. Pick that up. Just coming over to the other group of sheep again. This again gives you an idea of how dry and smoky everything is. Anyway, so I guess on that note, I'm going to end this update and hope that September's update is better. So keep safe and look after each other. Bye for now. Rebecca.